Hi, welcome to Kaplan Konversations, and today I am absolutely delighted to have Stany Pereira and Sarika Dhameja, who are the managing partner and partner respectively of PKF. Now PKF is an accountancy firm which is global and they have a significant presence in the Middle East. Stany, as the managing partner, is a champion of talent development and an absolute crusader in diversity. Stany, you are very welcome. So Sarika, let's start with you. Why did you choose a career in accounting?
Actually, I cleared my chartered accountancy, so I had all the options of joining either audit or tax. So during my articleship, I had an opportunity to do the auditing as well as the tax work also. So it is at that stage where I thought that I am very good at taxes and all. So I actually picked up tax as an accountant as a subject, which I will be assisting the clients along with, because with the accountant background, I can understand the accounts and the finances of the customers very well, and then apply the tax knowledge on it to give the best of services to the client.
I have a sneaky confession on that one, because tax was absolutely my favourite subject when I was training to be an accountant. And there's elements of me when I look back at my career that I think, wonder should I have been a proper tax accountant, because it was a subject I did the best in, and it was a subject I definitely enjoyed the most in, so I understand your passion. And Stany, what made you be an accountant?
Actually, I found accounting to be a very challenging career, and also I found it very lucrative, because during my time, I think every person, wherever I used to meet people, and when I was to ask them what profession are you pursuing, they will say I want to do chartered accountancy. So I was thinking there's something in that profession where people are,
aspire.
Absolutely. And then that is how I decided to venture into it, and I qualified. And then my thing was very different. I didn't want to work in industry for a long period of time. I want to be in a practice where I can meet a lot of people. My passion is meeting people, building relationships. So I had that passion right from the day one when I pursued this course also. So I was also building on that. Plus I always read only one thing is practical exposure.
Yes.
Because I feel what was lacking during our time also, people were very bookish. People were, mugging up, they were passing exams, but they had practically no knowledge. So, ground knowledge. And that is where I decided that when I started my articleship also, pursuing my CA course, first thing what I did was writing up the books of account. So I said, when I write the books of account, I can then do audit easily. And also I wanted that time also to pursue audit as my profession, and that is how I gradually progressed. I qualified, then I landed to UAE. When I landed to UAE, that was a big challenge here, because during those time also people were following manual accounting. I'm talking about 34 years back. All manual accounting. They used to keep that American journal, long drawn up books. My God, I was thinking, when will this be computerized? And sudden change happened, and people started using computers, etc. I was very happy, glad, and a lot of time was getting wasted. What happens was the biggest challenge was in the manual accounting was basically to tally the trial balance.
Yes.
It's a never issue tally.
Yes.
Okay, so now with the computerized accounting,
always tally.
You'll have to not to bother about tallying, right? So you'll save a lot of time.
So I am from your generation, so I remember the booking. I also have to confess that audit was my worst subject. And it was the one paper that I didn't pass first time, so I had no desire to go into audit, and audit is very lucky that I didn't join, because I don't think I would have been a very good auditor. But do you remember the times when they started to introduce computing, and you would have had one computer to share across the whole office?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Me too.
Those times are very exciting.
You had to queue. You had to queue for the computer.
Correct. And when we don't know how it's going to work. Okay? So you're lucky that
And you would do it on the computer, and then you would also do it as a manual, just to make sure that the computer was right.
And many times you will take turns in the lunch. Who will skip the lunch only because you will get a chance to use
the computer
for your work.
Oh, my word!
Faster.
I'm really glad though that, I mean, that's such a nice memory to have, to see that transition, you know, over the years, because obviously young people coming into the profession, I would have no idea, you know, that was a skill, that was a skill that was required. And actually that leads us on quite nicely, because whilst that was a skill then and it's not really a skill now, the skill now that the young people have to have, do you feel that they are prepared when they train to be an accountant for those skills and those digital skills in the workplace?
I don't think, I don't know, but I can talk about India. I think they're all pursuing this professional qualification, but I feel two things which are lacking is, I feel, the communication skills, and secondly, IT skills. Because ultimately, I think they are not having ground knowledge on both these aspects. See, it's good to have a theoretical knowledge,
yes, and
pass the exams, but when it comes to reality and you face the public, okay, the scenario is different. So you have to be very, very confident, and both scenarios are very, very different. I would have thought probably you clearing the exam and then going out and working, in the industry or working in the profession is absolutely two different things.
It is, and I think that's the Kaplan way is very much about knowledge, skills and behaviours. So whilst the knowledge is really important because that is what's going to get you in through the door, the skills and behaviours are going to be what takes you through your career, and resilience and impact and influence and all of those skills that Stany, I think you're absolutely right. You have to recognise and develop those, and the best place to develop those is in the workplace. Is that your view?
Yeah, and also secondly, what is important is what I see in the younger professionals is lack of common sense. Because I always believe that whereas books are there, etc., you can read, etc., but you have to have that practical knowledge, you have to have that mindset whereby you apply yourself, and see whether what you're doing is correct. Because there are so many, in our profession we have got the accounting standards, we have the auditing standards, we've got all sorts of standards, etc. Fine. People
no standards and common sense.
Yes. But what you lack is basically common sense, which I always say is not commonly available. Yeah?
Basic analytics also. Sometimes you just need to not very complex analytics. Basic analytics. Yeah. Okay, if I am doing this account, if this is what the result is coming, why it is not fitting into this another, why it's not linking.
Yeah.
Correct.
They will just see one in silo, then they will start working on the other.
Yeah. And they don't look at it.
Picture in mind.
Yeah. Well, not even the total picture, but just look at it for reasonableness. Yes. Is it reasonable that cost a penny when it used to cost £10, or costs £1 million now and it used to cost 10? That reasonableness is important.
Little extra effort also. Many youngsters I see, they don't want to go that extra mile or take that extra effort.
Yeah.
Unless one is, and also the digital interest is either an individual interest. Either someone will be very good. Some youngsters are very good in digital, but it's not. They don't understand that this is becoming more of a life skill, which they can utilize in work as well as personally also. Today you can't use a phone unless you are digital savvy.
Yeah.
We see how our parents struggle.
Yeah,
it's a very basic thing. So it's not that you just learn just to survive. You have to learn to thrive.
Yeah.
So that should come from internal for every individuals, not just those who love to be digital.
Yeah.
Once they understand it is a life skill, they will put an effort.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think if that recognition is there, then the digital mindset, when they bring that into the workplace, they'll be a lot more creative and a lot more ambitious about what they can do digitally. So yeah, I absolutely agree.
And one thing I would like to add here is, I think there is no shortcut to success. I believe that a lot of effort, a lot of hard work goes in becoming whatever you are.
Stany, the harder you work, the luckier you get.
You have to build your personality. You need to build that, all factors put together, you can build your persona rather than one thing. But people nowadays, the younger lot, they want to be richer quicker. Okay, and which I think there is no formula, no written formula for success unless you put a lot of efforts, unless you build yourself up, unless it will not work for you. That's what I think.
Yeah, and I think that's a lesson, and it's a life lesson for the next generation, in that actually effort equals reward. And it's a shame because probably all parents say that to all children, and because that happens, it probably loses its value. But I've got great hope for the next generation, because I think that they have a great conscience in relation to the environment, which it wasn't something, I have to say, I was particularly concerned about when I was growing up. So I think that passion and that consideration, they would be better at that than maybe we were. And if they would just listen to us a little bit on the common sense, then they would be a much stronger and more impactful generation. So yes, I absolutely agree.
I think the one thing to be talking in their favor, in fact, today's generation, they have come into a generation where they have seen only pace, only speed. Unlike us, we were never into the kind of a pace in terms of anything the way it is today. In the digital world, in fact the connectivity and everything you see, it is very pace driven. Everything works with speed. Even a little, if a file takes time to download, now even we get restless. Earlier we will wait for hours to get a file. So they have come into that generation. But at the same time, they need to have that maturity to balance the two. You can't achieve too much in too short a time.
It's not sustainable.
So they have to balance the two and see, okay, they keep up the pace, but at the time give some time for them to have that robust experience to gain that skill set, and then
and patience. Have recognize when patience is needed. But I think you're absolutely right, because they have definitely had an experience in their growing up of everything happening at such a significant pace. So why would they not think that you can get rich quick? It's not necessarily their fault.
I can tell you one thing, that the younger people are far dynamic. They are far, what we were not in the same range when we were younger, right? But they are far definitely
street smart.
They are 100 times better than us, I would have thought. 100 times better than us. And technology driven, more IT skills and all, and which we lacked. We honestly lacked all those skills. We never had those skills. But okay, of course, during those times we didn't require those skills. But now
we had other skills. We had other skills, Stany. We could balance a trial balance with a pencil.
That's the
chicken bash.
Take each item, howsoever small it must be.
So just imagine what's going to be the future.
I agree.
With so much of advancement, and I don't know. It's anybody's guess. The younger people who are still in their teens, what sort of difficulty they may have to face in the future in terms of technical skills, in terms of IT skills, in terms of their career development, and which career to pursue. I think today a big challenge will be to find out which career you need to pursue, because there are so many openings, so many things. It's a very broad horizon where you just have to pick up some profession, right, to survive.
I think so, and obviously, with us all being professionals in the accountancy world, and obviously very, very grateful for the opportunities that have been afforded to us. Certainly, an overwhelming majority of the young people that I speak to here and back in the UK want a career or want a skill that is giving something back. So there's less people that I speak to now that want to do something that's just for themselves. They want to do something that's in the charitable space, or in the sustainable space, or in the environmental space. It's more so than whilst they may want to be an accountant, or they may want to be a digital analyst, or any of those things. It is to put it to good use, and I have to admit, that was not in my sphere of thinking when I was picking a career. I wanted something that was going to pay the rent, and was going to, help me to sort of not be dependent. So those thought processes I didn't have the privilege of thinking, whereas this generation definitely seemed to have and have taken that privilege, and I think that's absolutely to be admired, and I'm very glad that that's the route that they seem to be going in relation to their thought process. A lot more want to do a lot more for good,
Because we came with a background where we were told that job security and life security is priority.
Job for life,
Yes.
yeah.
But now today's generation, I don't think so, because they are anyway, most of them are with a good background. They have not seen how the job
The struggle.
security.
They've not seen the
can impact. Yeah. So that is at the back of their, quite not really in the priority. So they look for then something beyond that.
Yeah, they're further up Maslow's hierarchy of needs than we were when we started. But yeah, I've got great hope for this next generation, and I think if they equip themselves with the knowledge, which is vital, but also don't ignore, to your point, Stany, don't ignore the skills and behaviours that are actually going to make you sustainable and more impactful. And I definitely think when they pick careers and they pick professions, it's very, and I think all three of us would agree, it's very difficult to find an accountancy or a profession where accountancy doesn't tick most of the boxes. It has definitely been one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life, and speaking to both of you, I know you don't have any regrets.
See, today whatever we are because of our profession,
Yeah.
right? Because of our accounting background.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know whether we will be in the same level, but we are. I will pursue something else.
Yeah.
So all said and done, that it has given us.
It has lent us well.
Yes.
It has lent us well, and it has been something that we have.
Correct.
It's been easy to carry. It's an Irish saying.
And it is up to you how much you want to expend.
Exactly.
It's not that if I have taken accountancy as a profession, I am restricted, or I do only limited work.
Yeah.
I can do networking, I can expand, and I can take trainings.
Yeah.
I can, of course, tax has a very legal side of it.
Yes.
Deputations.
Yeah.
I can do the representations before authorities, which may not be a very strictly accountant kind of a role, but will give a much wider.
Yeah.
But since the basic education is accounting, I can link everything.
Yeah.
And then present it in a very analytical way to the person in front of me.
Yeah.
Which helps a lot. So that way, of course, the fundamental is the accounting, but I can, as I said, can
skills,
scale it up.
So you've used your knowledge,
Yes.
and then built all those really great skills. And I might tick you up on your skill set of training, to come and do some training for us in Kaplan.
Yeah, sure.
So that is the advantage what we have actually. When we pursue our CA course in India also, we had this 3-year articleship.
Yeah.
In those 3 years period is very crucial because we are groomed to be accountants. At the same time, there are other skills also which we need to develop. So all put together, then it makes you professional.
One is photocopying skill. All the articles, they will swear by it. And additionally, we used to do filing also. Which
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Filing, we
Yeah.
used to do, we used to use that calculator, the facet calculator,
Yeah.
and count the numbers,
Yeah.
etc. Everything we have done.
Yeah.
So that is what we know. So as Sarika put it, I think the all-round personality needs to be developed as a professional, because you might be an accountant, but you might be having so many other hidden skills inside of you, which need to be explored, which need to come out in the public, and that is how all these skills put together, it makes you a thorough professional.
Definitely, I absolutely agree, and I think certainly for your firm and PKF and the experiences that I've had when I've come up and we've had our chats, Stany, that's definitely something that you can feel in your organisation that is valued and encouraged with the people that I've met.
Thank you.
Of women in the workplace and female leaders, and you've done a great job in your organisation, Stany, from when you started to where you are now. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about the progress of PKF in the Middle East?
Initially, when we started off 1976, we were a very, very small firm with about 6 to 7 people, and gradually we increased our strength from what it was that time and what it is today. And we used to primarily employ male staff, because we always believed that there are people who can work with, who can gel with. But I always believed the time I was in charge of leadership. So I thought that women has to be empowered, and it's women empowerment which will drive the future. So I felt that there is no distinction between male and female. Both are equally competent, both are equally highly skilled, and they need to be given an opportunity. And when they are given an opportunity, they'll perform. And that is how I think about 12 or 13 years back, 14 years back, we ventured into employing more and more qualified professionals, female professionals in the organization. And today, if you ask me, we are employing about 40% of our workforce is our women.
Wow, 40% now.
40%, yes.
And what was it when you joined? Zero.
Zero. So so we had that is the magnitude, what we believe.
Yeah.
And also we are going forward. Also, we don't have any distinction between gender-wise distinction, because we always feel both are equally competent.
Yeah.
And when I started tax, just to tell you example, when I started tax division, which is a new division here.
Yeah.
In 2017, that is where I spotted this young bright lady. Sarika.
I love to hear young.
Yeah. And then I said, will you join me? Seriously, I'm willing to join you. And that is where she led it from right to the front, and women leading that particular division. And today, whatever we are, she has put a lot of hard work.
You've done that growth.
And grown the division, and now we are about 10 people.
Oh wow!
In the department, and about 2 or 3 are ladies in that.
So entrepreneur, on top of all of your other skills, with the ability to grow a division, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So she can share something what you feel.
My experience actually, basically it's I think attitude of the leader also. If it helps, it's so I have been lucky enough throughout my career. I have worked with various people and male or females, but I never saw gender coming any which ways. In the way of my progression or my job profiling and all that. So Stany also that way is very, very progressive, and he gives a free hand. I don't think so gender ever even appears in his thought process ever. So if I go to him with anything new that we want to do it, first thing he will ask me whether you are confident. If I am confident, he will say go ahead. Even if I am not confident, he will say if you want to do it, if you really want to try it, go ahead, we'll see how it comes out to be.
Yeah.
So he's always standing behind you if you really want to explore something. And as I said, I don't think so gender plays any role in his mind, and he is very flexible that way. So it is automatic that even most of the women would like to come for such organizations.
Yes, of course.
Where the leadership has no, in their mindset there is no place of any gender biasness or anything.
And I think that's really important as well, because with that then you bring in even better talent, because that whole culture of freedom of thought and that whole culture of just being completely agnostic, you just want the best talent, means you'll get the best talent. And I think that can only be good for the P&L.
Yes.
It can only be good for the P&L.
I think going forward also, whenever any candidate comes to me, for me it doesn't matter if it's a male or female. I feel if he or she is competent enough, I'll take them on board.
Yeah.
And that is how we have taken so many people now. So anybody who walks to the wants to come join PKF, we don't look at gender at all.
Yeah.
That's very clear in my thought also, and that is how we have seen more and more people. And what happens is, whenever a lady comes in, they find that a lot of ladies are also working. They also have the comfort back of the mind. They say, okay, this is an organization I can join, because I feel that they are giving equal importance to both male and female.
And they've got a progressive mindset.
Correct, absolutely. So,
to your point.
if you look at the senior staff, the partner level, director level, there are many ladies around. So and they've all progressed.
Organically.
They joined as audit seniors, and they became managers. They became progressed to directors. Then became partners also. So they see actually, and people who join us, they know that there is a career path for them. So it's not that only we take them on board and then we forget about them. No, we always encourage people and see their gradual progress, because ultimately everybody wants growth. Right? You cannot be sitting in one position for long. Right? So that is how it has happened. And we are lucky to, as I said, because when we started this tax division with Sarika heading it, there was no department. She started the department, and we had, we started recruiting people. I gave her a free hand. I said, you recruit people, because finally they are got to work with you. So whether male or female, doesn't matter. You just keep on recruiting, and that is how she did it. Good. And now we are 10 people department.
So I'm going to put you on the spot then on your department. What's your gender mix?
Yeah, actually we had a very good gender mix earlier, but some females have left because of family reasons and all that. But we do have, one of the team member who went on maternity leave. Then she joined back. After she left actually, then she joined back part time. We supported her. We said no problem. You work half a day. You support your small kid. And then she worked on a part time basis for 6 months. Then she became full time once she felt that the child can stay. And even now also, if she needs any kind of a flexibility, we do support her.
Yeah.
And as I said, Stany is very flexible that way. He leaves everything as a team leader in my hand. That you have to decide how the team is working. It doesn't matter. Even if some male member is also seeking some kind of a flexibility, I can provide.
Yeah.
There is no narrow mindset
Yeah.
from the firm's perspective.
Yeah.
That no, you cannot do this or do that. Whatever works well for the employee and the organization, do the balancing
That's it.
and then go ahead. Why not? So that
Great.
is, it definitely helps. So as I said, I don't think so gender plays any role in all these. It's an attitude of
Yeah.
leadership
Yeah.
which drives the culture
Yeah.
of an organization.
And whilst that's really progressive, that all organisations don't think that way. So you're definitely ahead of the pack, Stany, when it comes to that.
And personally also I've got 2 daughters. So
You've got a full house.
Yeah.
You've got a
She
full
has
house
got
at
2
home.
daughters, so-
Yeah. So
we're blessed with 2 daughters actually. So I think they are the future, and
Yeah.
ultimately, more and more organizations think of, employing female staff.
completely
I
agree.
believe they are very good. No doubt, that's the reason 40% of our workers
Yeah.
are
Well, good value for money.
I think so.